Folks, I already have a big smile on my face. I'm so excited. Mega Man Battle Network is a series that raised me, and I got the Legacy Collection. Let's go. It's my guy, Rockman. What's up, bucko?
I'm Megaman. I'll be your Navi while you play.
Sure.
Let's do this thing.
Alright, so somebody in my static pinged me and they said May 16th is when the patch is probably dropping. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Silent mode, if you shut Mega Man up, you are evil. Anyway, so that means I'm pretty much going to have a limited amount of time. And as much as I...
Who called quiz? Who called quiz? It's quiz time. Come on and do it.
Man, let me start the fucking game, weirdo. Oh,
right,
God.
let's go.
Anyway, I'm not gonna play them out of order. When I play Kingdom Hearts, I play them all in order, and I can do that because I'm baller. But the first Battle Network is like, you know what I mean? So we're starting with this one. I'll help you, Jay. I'll wait a minute. Dun, dun, dun. Report card time. Uh-oh. Here we are. Let's go! Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's B because I'm gonna need to know. It's circle. Okay. This is where you got stuck for days? Huh? Well, you just have to talk to everybody. Oh, is that why you got stuck? Yeah, okay, yeah. Now that you mention it. Yeah, now that you mention it. No, fuck. Get away from me. What did toast me? The other thing about me deciding to play Battle Mode 2 is this one is early enough in the series that, like, ostensibly doing, like, post-game content and stuff like that won't take me 50 hours. Once they got to, like, making the fucking version exclusives and stuff like that, it's OD. Okay, yeah, hold on. There it is. That's exactly what I want. Square is a much better B button. More comfortable on the thumb. Yeah. You can't possibly keep this up for 2 straight hours. You can't. You shouldn't. Yeah, it does have a big asset though. And she has a Navi who can't fight, which is crazy. That man did an outright. No! That's insane. Ah, damn it. What do you want, bad boy? You don't want Unavi to fight. Well, what do you want him to do? Interance? Oh boy. Sir? I can't remember if Bigsby's is like closed for this game or if he opens it. I can't remember. Sir? Your portrait of Scowling, do you know that? Yeah. You're also standing outside my front door in the mission. What's good with you, bro? It's kind of funny how the layout of this town changes game to game just because they need to. Dingas, no, no. Hi, Mom. Nothing. Peace. No, please, please. Not you two. The man said, got what, Mom? He tried. I respect it. This can't continue. What is going on? I need an adult. Homework on the last day of school land through SMH. You truly do hate to see it. Whoa, seeing the buttons change to match a PS5 is so weird. Ding. I remember my AP history teacher assigned us Last of the Mohicans to read, and we were gonna like take a test on it the first day of school, basically. So she assigned it like, and this is like in high school, so I never even met this teacher. I just knew like she assigned it to us to do over the summer. Came with the syllabus or whatever. I didn't do that shit. I wasn't willing. I liked her as a teacher. No cap. The things that I know about like modern politics, history, how bills work and shit like that, all of that I learned that junior year in AP history because it was a high school class that was a year long. I actually had it both semesters, and I got a college credit at it. So as a shoot, I learned. Mostly because once I was in there, I mean, I was basically trying to do like I was like the MVP of the NFL Super Bowl. Like I was like, it's for college credit. That means I gotta do the best, the best. Me and my friends was going to the school on Saturday mornings to do extra studying because she would like run little extra studies with us. It was game time. But again, I say, I got that motherfucking college credit. It was one less one I had to take. Know what I mean? So this game is pretty dope. Your eyes don't like the square pattern. In the back, yeah, it's a little obnoxious flashing. I can understand that. Yeah, that's it really. What's crazy is because of the way the game works, like from what you have to be looking at, I never would have noticed that until you mentioned it, and now it's going to be the only thing I look at. Anyway, people who haven't played the series. Mel, you said you never played the series. So Battle Network is kind of interesting. It's a mixture of this grid pattern makes it kind of like an action RPG, but it's also got this card system. So you can have up to 30 cards in your deck. You have to have 30. Right? It's not up to. You have to have 30. Each come with codes. And so you can either choose different codes, but they're all the same card. So like I could pick a cannon A and a cannon B, or you could pick the same code. You feel me? So you could pick these two because they're both L. She's walking me through it, but she's taking too long. As your backup, because they wouldn't want you to get into a situation where you like flat couldn't win, because you run through your chips, right? They don't come back. You also have your Buster. Now that's not to say your Buster is only as a last resort. You can definitely, maneuver around with it depending on certain other things you do to it. You can power it up. You can have different effects on it, stuff like that. Interestingly enough, this tutorial has changed throughout the series because the way that the battle system works in 1, 2, and 3 is different. Well, 1 has its own deal, 2 and 3 have their own deal, and then 4, 5, and 6 have their own deal. And hilariously enough, it only ever changes this third battle. The first 2 are always the same. It's always 2 cannons, and then it's always the area grab wide sword given. And you always have to do 2 rounds of that because you can't possibly not. So in this game, 2 and 3, it's telling you about the add function. So it's possible for you to pull and have a bunch of useless cards. And so instead of just having to waste them, you hit add. So not only will this refresh these 3, right, because you get 5 every turn, you'll get an additional 3 on the next turn for adding these. It's a good way to expand your folder. Yeah, so I was talking about it a little bit before. Raids start in about a month. I'm not going to be able to just run through the series 1 through 6 cohesively anyway. And I'm not sure how great that would be to experience or watch. So I'm starting with 2 because 2 is good, and I'm probably going to skip around. What's going to happen is I'm going to play 1 last because it's the worst one. And I'm going to be like, nah, damn it. If I wasn't like beholden to stream schedule and I just like played offline myself and uploaded VODs, like not to do any post game stuff, just to like beat the game, I'm pretty confident I could do 1 through 6 in a month. 3 is your favorite. 3's dope. 3 is dope. I mean, This is a series where, like, except for 1 and 4, anybody could tell me, like, any of the other ones are their favorite, and I'll be like, yeah. So, Base and Proto Man are the only two people that you can fight in all 6 games. Even if Proto Man is version exclusive in 4 and 5. I know everything about this series, so it's going to be nerdy as fuck. It's going to be like Kingdom Hearts. Base is the final boss in the main campaign. No, he's not. He's the second to last boss in the main campaign of this game, but it's a fake base. In 3, it's the real base. And he's also the second to last boss. The real base is post-game content. In this game. 3 has the thing where you get the fancy form. This has it too. Style changes. It started in this one. So it's in 2 and 3. Style changes. We'll get there when we get there. I'm not going to go into that. Love this series. Since I'm not speedrunning, I'm going to take random encounters and shit. Shockwave. I want guards. Everybody who knows me knows that I want guards, but we'll get there when we get there. You don't remember this one because you didn't suck. You were unequipped. Not the same. Here you go, Eddie. I'm trying to get my guts up. Just for you, brother. I think most people consider 3 to be the best. I'm not that way, but it's excellent. So, like, it's not like sometimes when people say things like that, like, you know, like my thing with talking of time, I'm not big on. But this isn't that. Like, I don't have a vendetta or anything against. I want Circle to cancel out, even though I want Square to be B. It's really unfortunate. I want them both to be B in different contexts. But like 3 is like I said, like if someone were to tell me like I think 3 is the best one for these reasons, I would just say yeah, you're right, because it is. Also, trying to be a custom style boy, I always like custom. I like Shield in some regards because having a free hit is good since I'm trash. But custom is what you need, frankly, if you're going to be like a shooter and like get all the extra stuff, because just having more chips available to you is better than anything else. Don't do this, Edward. Not like this. The people still believe in me. I was toxic in the Star Wars. I won't be toxic in this game. I like it. That's right. Gator is lit. I will be abusing it because that's the way you accomplish goals in this game. Nobody can stop me. Yeah. So because of what I mentioned before about the way that you can use your cards, the best strategy is to make it so that all of your cards are the same letter, for the most part, as best as you can. Because then you can use more of them in a turn, right? That's the goal. Roskin also 30. What it is. Yeah, this one. No, navies do not have to have an operator. And these are viruses, correct? This game does have charging the buster, but like with 1, you have to like upgrade your buster with a thing in charge to get it down much. Oh, okay. These are the chips that you actually can't get in the game normally. They were like promotional events or some shit like that. Maybe they trade on whatever. I want them for. Well, no, they're not even library completion. I'm not going to use them because I think it'll make the game kind of boring if I do that. But I'll have them. You know what I mean? I got an achievement off it, which already is hilarious to me. Yeah. When I say broken, that's what I'm talking about. 600 is a lot. And they all come in X, and I'm pretty certain I can use more than one. So, yeah. That's a negative on that one. I think we all want me to have. I think everyone would appreciate it if the game was actually interesting to watch in any way. I can't remember if it was promo for those ones or like e-reader. It was something like you cannot get them in normal games. That is why they give you them as download chips, right? Which is why they just give them to you in this collection. That's the Switch version of these games is similar, if not the exact same way, where it just like understands you couldn't get them, so it just gives them to you. And you know, there's no like this game also has a Buster Max mode where your regular shot does 100 damage if you just want to experience the story. And what I found out because I saw someone they were showing it off as the game like just got released. There's no like penalty for that. Like you would think that they might, they might make it so that you like didn't get rewards from battles or something like that, but no, not at all actually. I was expecting him to jump twice. I feel like they usually jump twice. Why did I slot the area grab even though I'm not going to use it? I'm trying to build that custom. This busting level thing. So there's a few things that go into your busting level. It's actually not just delete time. So I believe your standard thing starts at 9 and then it has accumulators. Under 30 seconds is a +1. Not getting hit makes it go up. Or I'm sorry, no, getting hit makes it go down. Not getting hit doesn't go up. Getting hit makes it go down. Doing like a double delete, which is like if you kill 2 of the viruses at the same time, makes it go up, etc., etc. You get better rewards at the maximum, obviously. It goes all the way up to S. So it goes S and then 10 down. 1 is AIDS. Alright. Do a basic gun only run? Absolutely never. Are you out of your mind? We will be here for 100 years. Bro, we never speak of Oogie Boogie. I'll never forget that. Of all the bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2, there were like... I was gonna lie. Sephiroth was not easier than Oogie Boogie. But some of that shit was pissing me off. Oh, man. The big plot point reveal at the end of 1, there's obviously things that you'll miss because seeing a sequel, but the big thing is it's revealed that Lan is actually a twin. He was born a twin, and his twin brother was very sick, and so his father created Megaman and used I'm about to say some wild bullshit. He's used his son's like DNA to make Megaman. So Megaman is Land's twin brother. But the deal is, when he did that, because they're twins, he had to make Megaman genetically different to Land as a program. He's 99% the same as Land, with 1% off. Because when they're 100%, they activate what's called full synchro. And it makes Megaman stronger. However, things that happen to him also affect Land. So Megaman going full synchro is like taking the power limiter off type shit. Many people like to believe that the thing was, if you look, Land has brown eyes, but Megaman has there's not his portrait. Blue eyes, you can see. So people liked to think that was the 1%, like they changed the eye color for the twins. And Capcom, because they're fucking boring, they were just like, no, that's not it. It's like, what is it then? And they're like, nothing, fuck you. And it's like, okay, well, guess you got me there, you know? Only now did it dawn on me I've been using the analog stick and not the D-pad. I wonder if that's going to cause a problem. It is when I want to use back shit. Will there be back? I'll just get used to it, man. Look at this one. Z license. Why is the overlay wrong? What's wrong? Oh. Yeah, Mega Man usually has green eyes. I was about to say green, confidently, and then I looked and he said they were blue, so I was like, oh, okay. They're usually green. Surf the net without losing to a virus is kind of funny, because if Mega Man's deleted, you game over. You don't like just get plugged out. So you wouldn't be able to reach here if you got defeated by a virus on your way. It's kind of funny that that's like the first. Is this the game of Big Brother I Hate You? No, that's 3. Chisao isn't in this game, right? Am I bullshitting? It's 3 because then Chisao is with you when you put up the soup. Damn. I was like, I got some money. I don't got shit. Grinding Zenny is the kind of thing that I could see myself doing off screen. I want sneak runs later. I want to unlock it later too. Yeah, Grinding Zenny is going to be that thing. Please understand that I'm like the same way with Pokemon. I just have to say it a lot. It makes me anxious. What's wrong with 1 and 4? To say wrong is not fair. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Like how I often say Kingdom Hearts, no Kingdom Hearts game is bad, and then I like stare at Dream Drop Distance for a minute, and then I say it again. I think that of the Battle Network series as well. 1 it's not bad. It's just got limitations from being the first in the series. So like, one of the things you'll notice here is that this game has a distinct way that it looks, right? Like this background is the same for all the areas we've been in so far, and it'll make more sense when we get later. But in one, every area has the same background and style, and there's no maps. So like, it's really easy to not know where you're going. It's got a battery charge gimmick in one of the scenarios that's god awful. Everyone hates it. But the blueprints are there. Like, genuinely, the things I've listed are the things I think of people saying is like the quote unquote bad stuff. I should have done neither of those things. Haha! I don't like to throw bomb chips, but I want to complete my library, so I'm glad that I got it. Rings app will probably be cool too. Yeah, it's really easy to get lost in one. And then 4 isn't bad either. 4's got a, I think, easier problems to identify. One is 4 could be buggy. There's a lot of people's complaint about it. I personally didn't experience a ton of that as a kid, but it, it's one of those things where when people say it, I'm like, yeah, it probably was. So 4's got a problem with being buggy. 4 also has a different layout than the other games, where it's got these like tournaments, which makes it interesting. 4 is the only game in the series with a new game plus. When you finish 4, you have the option to do it again. Except the bosses change, and all the viruses get stronger. So you saw when I got that chip, right? It was called Quake 1. There's a 2 and 3 with stronger viruses. In this game, it just means the further you get into the game, the stronger viruses there will be. But 4 and 5 have different ideas, and so for 4, you start a new game plus, and you progress to the 2s and the 3s, which is an interesting idea, but it's also a terrible idea. And if you think about it for like 6 seconds, you'll know why. 1, it means your powerful chips, you now have to beat the game 2 times before you can get to them. And 2, if you're trying to do some completion shit, and you don't happen to get, say, every version 1 of a chip, and then you start the next playthrough, you gotta cycle through 2 and then 3 to get back to 1 to get it. Terrible idea. I saw someone on my Twitter film talking about waiting 15 minutes for a respawn, hoping for a run trip to drop. I can't think of what a respawn would entail. This game, there's random encounters like you just saw, right? But like, there's nothing you could defeat that would need to respawn. You can run into the same encounter 2 times in a row if you know how to manipulate damage. I would want to be looking at the tweet to see if they were on about. I remember where I'm supposed to be. I played a lot of this series totally legally on my laptop. And the reason why that kind of pops me to play this game now is because, like, fuck it. Game, I hate this game. My computer isn't going to allow me, obviously, to do things like have 2 inputs at the same time. So I couldn't do diagonal movement, right? I can only do up, down, left, and right, which is diagonal movement in this series. Which is real pain in 1, because they have slack puzzles and you need to be precise, and it was like, well, I can't. Huh? What happened? In my mind, I got the item, and then that's why I was coming back. I think I got a green mystery data, and just thought that's what it was doing to us. Yeah, Force got a little bit of bugs. It's got a little bit of annoying quirk, but I still think it's good. I would just flat disagree with someone who said 4 is a bad game, but it's weaker than the others. So like I think this will probably get me triple delete. Yeah, that's right. See, because I didn't move. Moving knocks you down. I didn't get hit, and then I deleted the 3 of them at the same time. Got my first S-ring. Zenny, what the fuck? Where's my cannon C? Hey, Zapper. Zappers are kind of nice. Yeah. Escape chips were necessary in 1 because they're the only way for you to leave battle, but in every other game in the series, you can RNG to like get a chance to run away based on your health and the strength of the encounter, thus making that chip pretty useless in 2, and then they stopped existing after 2. So I'm deleting it for nothing. I don't really have anything better. Well, yeah. But, well, nope. Never mind. Damn it. I am plagued by bunnies, aren't I? I roll. That one I couldn't catch before it came out. My sincerest apologies. There are many things missing from Battle Network 1 that I think make it a very much proof of concept game compared to Battle Network 2. But as a completionist dipshit, I don't feel any of them quite as acutely as I do the lack of lock enemy. Okay, yeah. So first of all, obviously, I agree with that because that's shoot what I just said. I think 1 was more like this could be a good game, and then 2 was like, okay, this actually is a good game. They're referring to the fact that I just mentioned this game has RNG, right? It's random encounters. There are bosses that drop their own boss chips, right? And they're some of the strongest in the game. But the thing is, those encounters with the strongest level of bosses are random encounters. And so, in this game, I don't have any. In every game from this one forward, there's a sub-chip called Lock Enemy. So when you run into them, it increases the RNG chance you'll run into them again. 1 doesn't have sub-chips, which means if you run into a boss and, say, get hit and mess up your chance to get that chip you're trying to get, or the game RNG drops you money instead of the chip, your best shot is to try it again. You can save scum to some degree. I think some people try that. But I actually don't even know if that really affects it much. I was watching earlier today and someone was doing a Operate Shooting Star. Don't ask me what that is. It's a long story. No, it's not, but it is. Speedrun, and they were doing save scumming, but I don't really know that matters much. Because you're still getting a random encounter. To me, I will just run around until I get another. Well, okay, no, I can see the speedrun now. I just clicked in my head. In the speedrun, you do that to not have to fight the encounter. Fair enough. A Cannon D is potentially interesting. We'll have to see. I'm doing a little bit of grinding. I'll admit. Yeah, but that's what they're on about. Is, you run around trying to get the boss, then you gotta try an S rank, right? You have to do properly, which is again a little bit of RNG because your folder has to line up in the right way for you to pull it off. And then you do it and they drop the wrong chip. This game has a couple bosses that actually drop 2 different ace chips. Nightman drops the Stone Body as well as his own boss chip. Shadow Man drops the Muramasa as well as his normal chip. It might just be them 2, but that's too fucking many. So they don't really mean like the boss to respawn in the way that you would think like Hunt in FF14 or something like that. They just mean like to get the random encounter again by luck. I can do this with some patience. Huh? I thought it was 50 damage. Embarrassing for me. I feel like it does 50 in another game. I'm a geek. What you said earlier, Eddie, is funny because, like, you said that, and then I proceeded to tell the insane hub story. But it is actually true. They really did put a lot of effort into thinking about how this works. And the rules that it has. I think it's kind of neat. The original Mega Man is obviously a game about robots, right? Dr. Light built these robots that are supposed to do stuff, and then they went insane and started killing people. So Mega Man had to step in. This game's premise is, what if instead of going with Dr. Wily's idea, because Dr. Wily and Dr. Light are partners until Wily does a good turn. What if instead of going with Wily's idea of building robots, they went with Light's idea of having internet? And this universe essentially branches off with that idea. So it's all internet shit. Which I think is pretty interesting. What I unlocked, they said chip selection. You see up top it says I have 4 MB, but Canon is 16 MB. What you can do is you can select a favorite chip so that it always shows up first in your first draw. You can only have one. Typically, I make it the star chip so that I can immediately begin grinding for shield style. I like shield style. Just, what are you doing over there? Yes, Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman are different guys. You've never played a Mega Man in your life? I'm not big on 2D platformers because I'm not good at them. I'm not good at 2D Sonic, and I prefer 3D. Also, 2D Sonic kind of has, I think, a flaw where the game really wants you to go fast, and it's most fun when you're just running fast, but it has to be a platformer, so you can't just hold forward. You have to jump and have enemies and shit. And as it turns out, going 2 million miles per hour when there's spikes and stuff ahead of you is powerfully not fun from time to time. But I digress. I think Mega Man is cool. But I'm not super big on the originals. X is fine. This is the series that I really gush about. I've played a fair few of them. I've only really beaten in the original series X, this one, and CX. I don't like Mega Man Legends at all. And played a little bit of Zero, but it wasn't my thing. Oh, and Star Force. Oh man. Star Force is the sequel series to this series. And in a similar convention, it is very much like Mega Man X. Megaman X takes place 100 years in the future from the original series, and Star Force takes place 100 years in the future from this game. I straight up don't know where I'm supposed to be right now. I'm gonna get shield style by it. Yeah, 100% lazy. 100%. Sonic 1 is terrible. I got the Z license, and he said, let's head back. And I talked to Gutsman, and I think where I fucked up is I didn't talk to Rope. One of the gimmicks about your Buster is it actually fires faster the closer you are to your target. So you can tell, actually. See the difference. I did talk to Roll. No, what the fuck? He said, we got the Z license, let's head back. Head back? What? My brother. I don't want to jack out like I think might be the solution because then I'll have to run all the way back anyway. Yeah, I mean, you're describing why I'm playing this game right now instead of the original. Sonic 2 is better than 1. I actually... I'm trying to check my memory banks to see if I'm lying right. I've never completed Sonic 1, but I have completed 2 and 3 with all the Chaos and modes. And I never finished 3 and Knuckles. Yeah. Sonic 2 is one of the first games I can remember watching a person complete. You see, for all you kids out there, back in the day, actually finishing a video game was hard as shit. Because there weren't fancy things like saving data. You had to sit there and beat it in one sitting. I watched an older kid beat Sonic 2 and I was looking at him like he was God. I don't even remember that kid's name or face. I just remember thinking, holy shit. I could barely beat whoever comes after Glass Joe in Punch-Out. I'll tell you this, I'll whip Glass Joe's ass. It can't be Don Flamingo. That's too early. Ball Bull? Piston Honda? It's not Alex Drake. Oh, okay. I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. GG, Chuck. You're dumb. Miss Tater? Because they got a crip on the internet? That's great. Vishnu? Isn't that a god? This is an anime game. Do you reckon someone is like their shoot name is taken? What the fuck? Master Dex? This is kind of weird because it kind of like they definitely portray the Natters as having their own personalities and stuff like that, but like Eddie asked a question before of like them working independently. So our role of Gutsman reading these messages or Dex and Mail asking them to? The anime had an interesting quirk. This game did have an anime adaptation. Her name is Mail, right? Obviously, it's an internet pun. Land, Mail, Dex. But the anime decided that wasn't cool, so they changed her name to Melu. I'm gonna commit suicide. I don't know where to go. Jill, I'm having your moment. I don't know where to go. Alright, I just had to be sure. I gotta admit, Glad, those furious red eyes are horrifying. This is an unhinged text box. It's starting to piss me off now that Megaman has blue eyes when I can see him with green eyes right there. It's important to the plot that it's gas powered. Which is the only reason it's one of those, that detail stands out. Probably a reason for that. That D&D syndrome of, walk into a room and there's a big bookshelf and a table. And it's like, well, alright. One of these things must mean something. Sick, I can jack in a second. Our mission, should I choose to accept it, get a dash attack chip. That's going to be extremely difficult. But anyway, I'm not the goat. That's J code. So another important thing about codes is they can be pretty important sometimes. And so I got the dash attack chip like I wanted, but unfortunately J code. Why is that unfortunate? Because J code is not what I need. Also, there are some things you can guard and some things you can't. So like, I'm not bothering to guard because something charging into you is not a guardable attack. They will simply hit me and I will take damage. And I think so far I actually haven't taken a hit. I'm cracked. B. What we're looking for is the G code. The G code. This is mail sounds. It's a server bot. I'm just showing off that you can get to the central hub in multiple ways. So like you saw, I came before unlocked Mail's little security key. I could jack in from her house to be further along the path. Right? I can always have to start at Lan's house and get all the way to the back. Dexon has one too, and obviously Yai has one too. And anyway, I think Yai is dying, so I should probably check her. As you can see, Dex's gimmick is that he's mute. I'm Dex. My thing is, I'm a woman. I'm male. My thing is, I'm the girl. My name's Yai. My thing is, I'm Yai. I think the other thing that's sending me into oblivion is on the completely legal way to play Game Boy games on my computer. They would kind of chug if I had a crappier computer, which I occasionally did, but one thing that would make them run easier is if you turn the sound off. Not mute, off. So this is probably actually my first time hearing a lot of this stuff. Playing games without sound has never bothered me, which is maybe sociopathic, but it's true. The gas-powered water heater. Guy's dad is a little retail. Ding. Lil Mac. So he's probably stronger than Alex. Alex has a base 10 strength. But Alex's dexterity is through the roof. So like I feel like he would be able to weave. I don't know if he just gets completely crunched by Lil Mac. The important thing in an Alex Lil Mac matchup would be the part in the fight where the ref has to check them to see if they packed any weapons. Gross. Almost did that too early. You can see what I mean by the base though, right? Like I can't get higher than 9 unless I double delete them or something. It didn't matter that I didn't move or it didn't take damage. This is probably never going to matter, but fuck it. I mean, I don't like the little bomb chips, but I guess if I'm going to have them, they may as well be removing the other bad bomb chips I have. No game. See that? That data library, 250. That's the objective, team. Oh, God damn it. I'm loading chips as if there's any chance I get anything but shield with me using a guard in every battle. But like I said, we'll cover styles when I get there. That's me out. Ooh. This isn't gonna work like I want it to, but I'm gonna try. Yes! Damn it! Oh well. How in tarnation do you get over there? Another good point. Dex is unconscious, but Gutsman is still able to do stuff. The way that it actually works in practice is that Navi can operate independently, and they have like Megaman has his Buster and whatnot. You need an operator to use chips because they're like the battle chips aren't digital; they are physical things that are being slotted into the PET to work. There's actually a scenario in Battle Network 3 where you play as Megaman and he doesn't have the ability to communicate with land, so you have to just get through with no chips. Get up, dummy. No problem. Dex is an idiot, but he's got a good heart. I'm sure maybe in 1 they might imply that he's a little boisterous, but I'm pretty sure it's only in the anime he comes off like a bully that Lane has to overcome. I like the anime has to like work you up through all these things and like show you how it works and stuff like that. 1 just drops you in, and it's like, yeah, this is Mega Man, this is Land, you his friends, do stuff. Speaking of lore shit, you know, one of those things like one of the questions in RPGs is always like, where do all my skills from the previous game go? Right? Kingdom Hearts did this gimmick with Chain of Memories. But in this game series, the way they explain it is battle chips aren't, or I should say, Land gets a new model PET every game, and old battle chips aren't compatible with the new model, so that's why he has to start over every time. I just think stuff like that is neat. I picked up an HP memory. Every time you pick up an HP memory, it increases Mega Man's max health by 20. What the fuck is happening? Do I need to get like just sprint past both of them? Because I'm very much under the impression that you can stop between the two of them. I don't know if it's just my eyesight's bad. Okay, what the fuck? Glide, help! Oh, god damn it! I couldn't tell where he'd aimed. I'm getting cold. So this is how the story ends. I have not tried using Force Slow. Excellent question. Ah, okay, all I needed was a random encounter. Of course. Please. Flippin' hell. Yes, your chips are 1 per fight. So you get 30, and if you run through all 30 of them and the enemy's not dead, you're using the pea shooter. If only Jeff were here, he would have suggested I use Force Slow. Just a little quirk, you can see that like guard does damage, right? It does 10 damage, and I'm aware that it did, or I'm sorry, it does 40 damage, and I'm aware of that fact. But when you look at the chip itself, it doesn't have that damage marked on it. And that means you cannot boost its damage with like the attack plus 10 that you saw me use before. It does a staggering 40. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Yeah, no, they're not consumable. It's per fight. If they were consumable, that would be really, really unfortunate. I like that this is a children's game because even if you say, yes, I remember that tidbit from earlier, he still goes, yeah, it's fan. Just to help you out. Lots of Megaman Legends references. Data. I believe he has fan of something. Doll of the ancient Melpos god of war. Is Melpos a real place? Is that Kratos? As you can see, Lane is an insane person. Darn, no Meldos. I wasn't even sure that was going to work. But I felt like it should. For no other reason than it would be annoying if it did. Damn it! I wanted it to work so bad. These bug things can suck ass, by the way. Oh no, Bucko. There's a Doc Smell place? Insane. This series show ain't what it used to be. So as you can see, so far we've run into Megaman, Roll, Gutsman. The various navis of the Batman series are like 95% based on robots from the original Batman series. The guy from the gas company, why would they do this? Well, since you asked, let me tell you my evil plan. $200 million for the eye? Execute. So this is Airman of I Can't Defeat fame. Can't remember if you can guard these. You can! Bosses do something that regular guys don't do, which is flinch. And so you can see there that it's not a damage thing necessarily, it's like more about the different kind of thing that it is, like the different type of attack that determines if the boss flinches. But when they flinch, when they recoil like that, it makes them vulnerable for a little bit. That's just so that you can't like run them over by hitting 50 million hits at once. Gotta have a little bit of rhythm. Megaman is actually the same way. There are attacks that he can just tank, but there are also attacks that make you flinch and give you a brief like invulnerability. We did it! Girl! What the hell going on in these text boxes? This is so unhinged. Arashi here. Didn't go quite as planned. I made a mistake, but I'll get it next time. You don't seem to understand the harshness of gospel. Come on. This fucker. Come on. The Net Mafia. That was a name drop, by the way. the country land lives in is called Electric. Not the town, the country. Three seconds until explosion. It's actually insane. Like in this kids game, it happened like often, but they're just like, yeah, the Net Mafia blew that guy up. He's fucking dead. Insane. Imagine if that happened in Pokemon. Giovanni just killed one of his executive rockets for losing to Red. New virus. Those little ghost viruses are an example of a virus that can drop two different kinds of chips, actually. One of them being this Recover 30. The other chip they drop is far more useful though, so it'd be cool if I could scrounge one up. This virus is an example of a virus that can drop three different kinds of chips, one of them being Recover 50. Also, not the chip I was looking for, if you couldn't tell. I still think that's like such a weird trope that persists in media, that the idea of like, you failed me, therefore I'm going to kill you, my servant. Like, surely you run out of bad guys pretty fast. Like, Vader had to eventually realize the error of his ways. Another new virus. Oh, you fuck, I forgot you could do that. Swordy viruses, they can do wide sword, which is a wide one, or long sword, which is 2 squares long. And you'd think, like, I have this chap beat, but after realizing eventually that he can't hit me, he'll do that shit. Swordies also have a great chip to drop, but not likely for me to be able to do anything with them for now. If it's not already like pretty apparent, I am limited by the fact that there's only so much I can do in a turn to like kill people either efficiently or get double deletes and stuff like that. So it's just gonna take me a while to like get a forwarder that's capable of doing stuff to get chips. But these pulsable, the eyes code you can see drops us off closer to the square. That's not a square, that's male splits. It's kind of interesting. This was a change for this game. In the first game, Megaman's HP refilled at the end of every fight. So you didn't have to worry about, like, you just take hits because you didn't have to... And in fact, there was a scenario, I don't know why, but the vernacular for that I've always understood for the series is that these, you know, dungeons, so to speak, where you fight bosses are referred to as scenarios. There was a scenario where your health didn't refill after every battle, and that made it like noticeable. In this game, you can see Megaman's hit points from the top of the corner, and I retain them from fight to fight. This is true. Being an immensely powerful space wizard who can wield the lasers gets you a lot of privileges. He showed up clapping stuff at the end of the Star Wars. We were on our way to getting cooked. I really hate mini bomb chips. But I really like berry. Hey. Quirk. I'm just saying stuff. Could have fun saying stuff. In the anime, since it was a kid's cartoon on like Cartoon Network or whatever, they had to change a lot of the names of various chips and navies, so instead of referring to them as mini bombs in the anime, they're mini boomers. This was especially chaotic when they eventually ran into Bomb Man, who was in the first game. They did not call him Boomer Man, even though that would be hilarious. Fucked up. Don't be that guy. Those little diamonds that I pick up, mystery data, are functionally like chests. But there's 3 different types in the game. So, green mystery data is random, not like entirely random. There's like a drop table that it can be depending on the area you find it in. Can I battle Gutsman now? I feel like I can. I can. Another boss fight. Boom, boom. I knew that was gonna happen. My reflexes aren't good enough. Would have been an S if I had stuff up right at the end. First, Navi Chip, Gutsman. Yeah, if I was using the gospel chips, it would be unfortunate. You dick. What the fuck? I can't move. What just happened? Oh, I'm a moron. There's holes there. I couldn't tell. I have a plus. Do you need a double tap again? This is about to suck. A test of my reflexes. Now hold on. They never really explained this kind of shit. Is Dex commissioning Gutsman art and like a doll of him and stuff like that? Like how does that work? Yeah. There's two kinds of like ways you can rematch bosses. The ones that have operators, overwhelmingly the best. Because you can just sit there and re-challenge them. Now, with Dex, if I try to re-challenge him, he's going to be like, I just got my ass whipped. Right? And I'll be able to fight him again later. But, eventually there will come a time where I can just sit on him and grind the chip out and, perfect that S rank or what have you. The bad guy Navi's not so much. And I'll show that off in a bit. Damn it! I'll show it off now. Navi chips stop time, and then they do a signature attack of the boss. RNG shoot favors the chips you put at the top more than the ones that you put at the bottom. The game will never tell you that because you're not supposed to know. And it's kind of minor how much it affects it, but it does. Death Punch. Death Punch is basically like a sword, but less damage. You can put in a code to shoot with this, but I do not know what that code is off the top of my head. I've never really used them. I was just playing things. Anyway, so green codes are RNG from the drop table. Blue are set in stone, so when you collect a blue mystery data, it's the only one of its kind and they'll go away. Green will respawn. Purple are locked. They usually have pretty cool prizes inside. You have to have a sub-chip called an unlocker. Which are consumable, so it's a little bit of pain. I guess. forgot that I did that. See the purple? You just can't get quite yet. The other way that you fight bosses, and this goes back to what Mansfredo was talking about before, for your bad guy to average for bosses, you have to find them on the internet. They exist in a dead end. And so Navis have 3 versions, literally called version 1, 2, and 3. The one you fight in the story is going to be version 1. The one you find in a dead end is going to be version 2. And then the random encounter is version 3. The chip rarity you're allowed to get goes up accordingly. Typically, beating a version 2 guaranteed drop is the version 1 of the Navi chip. So like you just saw, but I got hit and I got a 10 on Gutsman instead of an S because bullshit. But I got its Gutsman chip regardless. The same is about to happen for Airman. I said the same is about to have to come back the next day. Or am I in the wrong spot entirely? No. It's just not going to be possible. It's just a real pain. I need air shit. Yeah, that's it. It can occasionally be frustrating. I could have gotten that before, and I just didn't check them out. No injuries have been reported yet. Yeah. Time stop chips are also good because that time stop refers to it stopping the clock. You know, it times your battles. Using time stop chips will keep that low for you. The neat thing that I don't know how much I'm going to get into, but the collection has Wi-Fi, or online battles and chip trade. Yeah, we talked about it. If a teacher gave us any kind of homework over the summer, it simply would not be done. Let's go camping. Hold on, let's not. Let's go do what I tried to do at the end of yesterday. There we go. Megaman. B2. Last time someone brought up a trip to the beach in a game with summer homework and simulations. Oh no, Bucko! No, please. He didn't do that attack last time. It might be me. That he started with it is bitchy, but you know. Yes, Roll's chip does. If you. Can I talk? Roll's chip does damage and then also heals. I disagree. Okay. We're cheating. Love to see it, love to see it. Fuck off! It is stubbornness, me doing this now. Obviously, it would be easier at any point later than this when I have access to better chips. But this is more fun. I was scared. See what I mean? We both flinched. But it doesn't matter. I'm kind of like whatever about doing it as long as it gets done, because either way, I'm going to get an Airman chip. Airman's chip has a few things going for it, so let's talk turkey. First things first, put it in there. Second thing second. Since I only have cannons in A and B code, and I don't have C, I also have D. But anyway, it means that it behooves me to have all of these be A actually, so I can use them all in one turn with the Airman chip. In theory. I believe the maximum number of Navi chips you can have is 5. Ah, perfect. So this is what I've been missing to get this all this time, right? So now, time stopped, so it's going to be a low time. I didn't move, and I'm going to get a double delete from these two cannons. And now I got that cannon C that I was just bitching about not having. What am I doing? Stupid. I just want that mini bomb out of my folder so bad. Info. And now that I've defeated Airman 2, Airman 3 will haunt this part of the internet as a random encounter that you can run into. I'm going to show off one more thing since we're starting to wind down. That Airman's chip. That's the add function, by the way. If you don't like the chips you got, rather than just waste them, you can do that. I'm being trolled. There we go. A, B, C cannons. Program advance. When you line up 3 chips of a certain type or code, you get a program advance. This one is Zeta Cannon 1, and it lets me have unlimited shots of a cannon chip for, I think that was 5 seconds. Program advances do tons of damage. They're typically how you S-rank those pesky bosses. PA little. This is, oh yeah, 5 seconds. But this, oh, not only that, but it does make you helpful. The invisible is also helpful. There's 2 kinds of program advances. So this one you can see is just having them in sequential letters. So it's going to tell you A and C, or B, C, and D, or C, B, and D. It does not do what times. Yes, I could have just jacked up. No. Master answer. Why don't you show him the trailer? Because we missed the trip to the beach. This is just tiny. Damn it! Fuck it. Interesting. You can get held after battle sometimes, especially if you're doing bad or you're low. All I was going to say is it's interesting that chips have changed and evolved throughout the series. The barrier chip, as you saw, I just press it and it gives me a barrier. In future games, it's actually a chip that stops time. Gives you a barrier. Lock enemy would be dope here too, because if I time out that, if I get the airman chip and I time out the fishies just right, there's a chip that I really like to have. So we're gonna have to try. That's what we said. Okay. I couldn't remember if airmans necessarily started in front of him or at the edge of the thing. Yes, that was it. Be importante. Y'all good? I think I just saw my frames doing the cha-cha slide. We okay? As long as you're good. Oh, this is your hint. I saw Strong looking there to delete another one. There wasn't any operator. They refer to them as Navi Ghosts. It's kind of a funny quirk. But yeah, it's like the ghost of Airman is Ghost Data. This is insane. I mean, it's not, but it is. I hate this game. Fucking hell. Guard, dash attack, guts. Program advance. Guts shoot. As you can see, guts shoot does 400 damage. Pretty huge. And that's what I mean when I say program advance, is how you kind of get the chance to delete bosses much quicker. A quirk of this game that actually isn't in every game after this one, you can use your regular chip in program advances, so you can kind of get that edge up, like I can have one of the 3 I need every battle. You can't do that in future games. They kind of looked at that as being busted as hell. Gone for a trip around the world. Can't go camping today because Mom wants you to watch the house. The game did not expect me to have already whooped Gutsman's ass. I was excited. The layout of this town changes, but Mel always stays right next door to me. She is literally the girl next door. She's also not here. There she is. Netopian class. Netopia is another country. It was pretty spontaneous. That happens. He's like, hey, you want to go camping? I'm like, oh yeah, when's the trip? Tomorrow. He's like, well, hold on. To the Marine Army. I just love incidental dialogue and stuff like that. Like he said, elementary students ride free, so you understand how you can get a pass everywhere without overpaying. On the condition I can't leave it. Peter and Strad is always buying a ticket when you're here for the trip back. I don't know what difference it makes. Always important to note unique sprites. They typically mean something. Rapida is a net battler. Her name is Toadman. Toadman is a giant prick. But as you can see, he has 300 hit points, so actually, the Guts shoot would have instantly finished him off. Goodbye, Toadman. Toadman's got a few deals about him. One, those lily pads shoot a tadpole forward if you're ever in line with them, so you can't just stand on the sides there. Two, he is a little bit scared cat, so if you line up with him, he will... Is that for S-ranking Toadman? Oh no, it's beating it up. Oops, he jumps to the other lily pad if you line up with him. We say she's a babe. We did. And that musical note attack he has is really why he bothers me, because it can move on a diagonal and it kind of tracks you. You've got to be pretty careful about how you move. I think on my YouTube channel, like my third highest viewed video is me S-ranking Toadman V3 to this day. It is 624 views for Yozora whooping the shit out of Toadman V3. Everybody hates him that much. Magic Knight Radar. That's fun. These RPG games reflect Skies of Arcadia. Oh, okay. Yeah, everything is examinable. I like it. I like incidental dialogue. I really do. The music is good in this game. I like it myself. And it's, gives you the vibe of computers and all that. I don't know how to explain that. Like, I'm not a psychopath, but it gives me the vibe of computers and stuff. Oh shit. I thought that would have worked. Quake chips are what they call breaking chips in later games, and it would have broken his guard. Kind of thought that was still on the table. I was wrong. As you can see, the time stop chip that counted as a double delete, so I got a little bit of higher score, and I got the double needle chip. The other virus, the new guy, was Shrimpies. Something you guys haven't seen yet. Are the fact that viruses have elements. So these are indeed water viruses. And if I had an electric type chip, it would deal double damage. I do have an electric tip, the Ring Zap. But the Ring Zap does 20 damage, so I think I'm good. So we can get their bubbler. Their chip does their attack, right? So it's a water chip. Now that is what I'm talking about. That's fine. Actually, I don't remember why I just took that sword. But do I? I'm really thinking about this. I don't know why. Yeah, let's go with that. As you can see, part of the gimmick of unlocking the internet, so to speak, is unlocking new places for you to jack in at that aren't one's computer, but each of them requires a security code. So the repeated Ribby code lets me get here, which is this is internet area 3, in area 3. Don't have an unlocker, but I can go buy one, so we'll do that. These enemies are completely immune to guard chips, so I won't be using these. Just softening them up. Airman's chip has a pretty neat quirk where the space it starts the tornado is a hit, and then him shooting it is a hit. So if you are in sword range, you can actually get 80 damage out of his chip instead of 40. Which is what I was setting up on those fishies to try and get my G. This is the first power-up that you can buy, which I think I'm gonna. Which increases Megaman's Buster. Attack will increase the damage, so instead of doing 1 per pea shooter shot, you do 2. I always upgrade charge first, because not having a charge shot in this game is weird to me. This is the last game where you have to upgrade to have a charge shot. You just have them for the rest of the series. 1 was like this as well. It's 1 attack per guard, so when they attack me in unison like that, nothing much I can do but get crunched. I'm not trying to grind any, but I'm kind of trying to grind some. Don't worry, I'll do a fair amount of this off stream. If I can do this and not feel guilty about losing content, just grinding chips and whatnot. Because I know that shit is not always going to be very interesting. It's an RPG, you know? Grinding is part of the culture. That charge shot I mentioned. It deals 5 damage instead of 1. That Elixir chip will also ruin Toadman's day if you happen to draw that instead of the guts shoot like I did. This is the lad that I'm after. But there's a better way to get here to do that. Let's talk to a few more incidental NPCs. I don't know that I would proudly say my country is the home of viruses. Chad is in the first game. He's the lad on the right there, and he's Proto Man's operator. Chad is a cop somehow, even though he's a child. They call them officials. He's an official like that. Unlike you, a rookie amateur. And doubt me, lady. I need help, my oven's got fire. What do you mean? That's an old story. That's the first scenario of Battle Network 1. It's a cute little joke. There's the lock enemy your comrade was talking about. And the fact that they are 10,000 Zenny just pissed me off, so we'll see about that. Christ almighty. That is hateful. And this is a good way to get to the square. But again, we have better options. This is a job board. You'll be able to pick up side quests here. Interestingly enough, in this room, and I didn't know this until, I don't know, like a second playthrough or so. Anywhere you jack in this room will get you in. You don't have to like stand next to one of the computers. Everywhere else you have to be standing next to the object itself to jack in. You really said mingle with commoners and meant it. Anywho, let's wrap up. Folks, thank you all for coming to check me out tonight. I appreciate it. New game on stream, Yozora Heart Industries. I love this series and this game. I will be back tomorrow with more Megaman Battle Network 2. See you then. Goodbye and good night.